Welcome to Mama D's Kitchen. Tonight we've got a special meal planned for you, but first we're going to start with dessert. So what I have here, Dave, if you'll come and just kind of zoom in on here, these are the ingredients that we're going to be using tonight. We're going to use all Thrive products, but really zoom in on this one right up here on the top. Applesauce. We're going to be making applesauce. So when I show you the inside of that, that's apples. That's all it is. And so that's what's really neat about it. So what we're having, as you can see, I have my apples right here. And we're going to add just a little bit of cinnamon. You know I like cinnamon. And I think applesauce is probably one of your favorite fruits, isn't it, Dave? So what we're going to do is we're going to add 2.5 cups of water, cold water. 1 cup of the applesauce, and we're going to kind of just pump that down there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on that. And I've showed you this tool before. This is my little Ninja blender. I love it. It's 3 parts. This is the biggest one. And so here we go. We're going to blend it. See what we have looking here. Oh yeah. So we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon, and we're going to let it just sit. We've kind of blended a little bit. Yeah, we are. We're going to let it just, we're going to whip it one more time.
Weren't you supposed to add sugar?
Sorry?
Sugar?
No sugar in this one. Straight apples. I'm just going to set this over here and kind of let it just refresh and rehydrate itself. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get started on our dinner. So we're making beef tips, what I call beef tips, Thrive style, with rice. So we're going to start with turning on my induction cooktop. I'm going to add 2 cups, maybe quite 2 cups, enough to cover my beef. And I want you to look at this beef. Look at those chunks of beef in there. Now this is Thrive's beef.
Comes out of the can cooked.
Comes out of a can. They get their beef and they cook it, freeze dry it, and it is just wonderful. So whoop, we're going to turn that on. Check up my temperature to get it to bring it to a boil. Now this, I'm learning to use my desktop induction cooktop, and it's new, and I'm still learning about it and the different temperatures on it. But that 85 power will bring it to boil pretty quick. And I don't want to just boil it, or I would push the boil, but we're just going to kind of let it simmer here.
This is our view. We're having a rough life here. This is a beautiful place. It's called My Favorite Campground in Texas, New Waverly,
Texas.
Okay, so come back over here.
All right, so we're just kind of letting this come to a boil here. And you can see I've already got my rice cooked behind me, and this too is Thrive rice. So it's fluffy, ready to go, and we're ready to add it to our... Let that kind of get in there and start marinating together while that water's coming to a boil. Thrive Life products is fresh mushrooms, red and green peppers, green onions. Their special seasoning is called Chef's Choice. So our meat is really coming together here, and it's getting tender. This is what we call refreshing or rehydrating. Very little fat in this meat. It's just mostly. So what we're going to do, let that simmer down just a little bit. Oops, sorry, Dave. We're going to add green and red peppers, Thrive. Going to add them straight in. Mushrooms. Turn it down just a little bit. Thrive onions. And I'm going to just mix that together and let it all get refreshed together. That smells wonderful. I'm also going to add a little bit of pepper. My favorite kind of pepper is tricolor pepper. It just gives it a different taste than just using your standard black pepper. Use a little tiny bit of seasoning, chef's choice seasoning, because our beef bouillon that we're going to add in a moment has got quite a bit of salt in it already, as you know that bouillon does. So we don't want to make it too salty. That just smells so good, Dave.
So what are you doing with the meat?
I'm just chopping the meat up a little bit to make sure that it's rehydrated. Some of those bigger pieces, those bigger chunks. So now we're going to just add some of our beef bouillon. And duck top. We're just going to kind of let that simmer a little bit and let those flavors marinate together. Then we're going to add our rice, pour it over the top of our rice. Add some green onions to it. And we will be ready to eat.
So how'd you get started in all this?
In Thrive? Well, Dave and I were looking for a long storage food system that we wouldn't have to worry if something happened on the road, or we couldn't get to a store, or we wanted to boondock for 2 weeks or a month at a time. We wouldn't have to worry about having food on hand because we already have it. We came across Thrive Life Products, which is a freeze-dried or dehydrated, depending on the product you get, food. And let me just show you this right here, Dave. This is just chopped onions. That's all it is. Let me just show you.
So no more crying?
No more crying, no more chopping. And they also have sliced onions, too.
Every husband should buy this for his wife and would be a hero, and also would never have to chop onions again, which I do not like.
And one of the things about Thrive Life is that you may say it's expensive, but when you think about everything that you waste in cooking, like fresh vegetables, I have green and red peppers in here, and I have onion in here, and I'm going to have green peppers or green onions in here. All of that I would have had to chop. First go to the store, get it, then chop it, throw away quite a bit of it because you've got your seeds and your ends and stuff to it that you can't use. This I just opened the can and it's already done for me. And it tastes wonderful.
That's how it comes.
That's how it comes, and it tastes. And I love just snacking on them.
And how long will that last in the can?
In the can unopened, like 25 years. In the can open, they say up to a year, but I've heard of people having a couple of years and it's still good, fresh. So now on my applesauce, I added a little bit of cinnamon, and I went ahead and added a little bit of sugar to it because Dave likes his a little sweeter. And there you go, applesauce.
You make as much as or a little?
Yep.
You don't have throwaway.
I didn't peel or core or chop or dice or anything. It just makes cooking so easy. And I work full time, and so by coming out of the office at night and coming into the kitchen and think, hey, what's for dinner? I don't have to thaw out the meat that I forgot to thaw out or chop the vegetables. All I got to do is go to my pantry and pull out the different things that I want to cook for dinner. And what's so neat about this is you can make anything with this.
You're not opening a whole can of something and throwing half of it away because you two only eat half a can.
Exactly. Now this would probably realistically serve 4, but we like to have leftovers. So we'll have part of this for dinner tonight. And as I mentioned, I already have my rice made. And it's been sitting over on the stove, just kind of fluffing its way. And we're going to put that meat mixture on top of the rice. And we're going to have ourselves a great dinner. That smells so good. All right.
So no more 2-3 hours of cooking.
No. Ready to eat, Dave?
Absolutely. It all looks good. So it's got its gravy, it's got all its healthy.
And rice over here. We're going to plate up our rice. And Thrive Life, this is Thrive Life rice, and it is so good. It never clumps, it never gets sticky or doesn't get done. It just really does come together very nicely.
All their products have no GMOs.
Nothing but the vegetable, meat, or fruit. There's nothing else in them, and that's what's so wonderful about it.
No antibiotics in the meats.
No. So I want these to refresh just a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of get them in there and get them wet. Give it just another added layer to taste. While that's refreshing there, let me grab.
So you bought this for storage, and then what happened?
Well, in all honesty, I made the mistake of trying the apples. And as soon as I tried the apples, I had to start opening cans to see what the other fruits and vegetables tasted like. It's just, it's so addicting, and you should try their pineapple. Oh my goodness. Their pineapple and their apples and it's
bananas.
Just so good. Bananas. If you try the bananas, you won't put them down.
You'll never buy another banana from the store.
It's so wonderful. It really
and there's
is.
no waste.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't get over how there's no waste. It's all done for you.
I'm going to have a little bit of bowl applesauce here.
She's got a new apron, too.
I love my new apron. A little bit of cinnamon. And now we're going to plate up this meat mixture right over the top of that rice. A little moisture in there. That smells so good, Dave.
Say cheese.
All right. Look at that, Dave. Let me take a sample of this. Try this out.
Yeah.
Try a sample bite of this. That's really good. Good. Let me just try a bite of this applesauce here.
You like it better with the...
Oh my goodness.
That changes it, doesn't it?
I'm so glad
rice.
you joined us while we made our beef over rice dinner tonight with fresh made applesauce. I hope that you'll come back and join us again. Let me just have another bite of that. So good. I'm glad you came along with us tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something, because that's the whole purpose of doing this, is to teach new ways that we can eat while we're on the road. Check out our website, fortsolitude.com. On our website, there's a link on there, a page that will take you to Thrive Life products. Click on that, and then it'll take you directly to our Thrive Life page. Click on Learn, and you'll find recipes and information about the products and health information about the products, and everything you could possibly want to know about Thrive Life products you'll find through that link. I will post the recipe on our webpage as well, on the recipe page. Until we see you next time, keep looking up. Mm. Mm. Oh, this better pray for